Hey guys, what's up? This is Chris here of Yu-Gi-Oh! Memes. This isn't really a deck profile. I just want to talk about a specific archetype that just came out in Shadow Specters, and that's going to be getting more support in the next set, which is Legacy of the Valiant. I want to talk about Ghostricks now. Ghostricks is an archetype which is based off of, like I guess Halloween monsters, you could say. You know, ghosts, witches, all that stuff. It's a really nice archetype when it comes to artwork, and the theme of it is really appealing, I guess, to some Yu-Gi-Oh players. Well, Ghostricks revolve around. It's a new, not necessarily new. It's kind of like it's something that I haven't seen Yu-Gi-Oh in a long time, as opposed to like, uh, those desk camels and random shit. It has a lot to do with setting and flipping and attacking directly and kind of stalling to an extent. So let me explain what the Ghostricks do. So all the level 1 Ghostricks are Fiend, all the level 2 Ghostricks are Spellcasters, and all the level 3 Ghostricks are Zombies. Now, a lot of people have been wanting to play Ghostricks just because, you know, like the artwork looks really nice and stuff. Sadly, I don't see this deck being competitive this format. I don't think Ghostricks were meant to be competitive this format. I think that really sucks though, since dragons are like the best deck running around, and we have prophecy and stuff. Especially since this deck relies on a field spell. You know, this archetype itself promotes like the whole field spell war theory that everyone's been talking about this format, which really sucks. So let me see where to go. So this is a TCG exclusive Ghostrick Ghoul. This is a Sirocco for the deck. This is actually pretty cool, but I don't see a reason why you'd run too many of them just because, like, it's not really a necessity. In the deck, it kind of just adds a little, like, bigger push. Now I want to talk about this Caius really fast because a lot of people run Ghostrick Lantern in Monarchs, or people are starting to, and, like, Caius is a dark, so I think running Caius in a Ghostrick deck would actually be pretty cool. So they also have a Girga arm, I guess you could say, Ghostrick Langishi. It's not a bad card. You set it when it's flipped face up. You search a Ghostrick monster equal to the level of the face up Ghostrick monster you have on the field. So all the Ghostrick monsters cannot be normal summoned unless you control a Ghostrick monster. So they all have that similar effect, and once per turn you can all flip them face down. Again, they all have that similar effect. So what you do with him is you set him first turn. If they attack into him, you flip him. Then you add Ghostrick Spectre. When he's destroyed, Ghostrick Spectre's effect can trigger, and you can special summon him in defense mode, and you draw a card. There's a really big problem in this deck, and that is speed. This deck lacks a lot of speed, and in a format like this, where dragons have Ravine, dragons have 7-star Sword, dragons have Card Trooper in the middle to draw the little 1-for-1s, it really hurts to play decks like this, decks like Bujins, decks like Battling Boxers, stuff like that, because they don't plus as often. But I'm really hoping that with the new support, and I've seen the new Ghostrick support like Ghostrick Mary, Ghostrick Frost, Ghostrick Reaper, I think, I don't know. I see the new support. It's not bad. It just lacks the speed that a good Yu-Gi-Oh deck should have. It's fairly consistent, I guess you could say, because the Ghostrick Langishi, the little searcher guy, helps you search out things. Ghostrick Lantern is pretty much a battle fader. When they attack you directly or they attack your Ghostrick monster, you negate the attack and you special summon it in defense mode. So if you want to, I guess, stall, you could say, you run Triple Lantern, and then if you're attacking into him, you run Triple Lantern, Summon Lantern, flip him, then you add a Witch, because you have 2 face up already. Ghostrick Stein is their, I guess, speed of the deck. It has to inflict battle damage, and you search out a spell and trap Ghostrick card. The problem with this, again, is you can't just normal summon him first turn like you would with Bear. You have to have a Ghostrick monster to normal summon him. So if you're not going first, it usually takes up a turn having to set a Ghostrick monster, or you have to have a Ghostrick Lantern in your hand just to drop it during the battle phase, and again, like, it's just really slow. I think Ghostrick Witch is probably one of the best cards in this deck. It's a Book of Moon. It's a Tsukiyomi, pretty much. Yeah, it kind of just speaks for itself. I think it's really good. I want to talk about Crane and Mask Chameleon. Crane has several targets in this deck, like the Langishi, like the Ghostrick Ghoul, and like the Ghostrick Stein. And since their Exceed monster only requires 2 level 3 monsters, you're able to just go Crane, summon, Exceed, and then you're able to have your Ghostrick Alucard on the field, ready to pop set cards. I'll talk about that after. Mask Chameleon, I think, is good in this deck. A lot of people run it, a lot of people don't run it. Its targets are Lantern, Spectre, and Stein. And what Stein just pretty much opens up Ancient Fairy plays. That's the only reason I'd consider playing it this format, because everybody runs field spells. I mean, the best decks run field spells currently. So I think Mask Chameleon, if you're gonna play Ghostricks this format, for whatever reason, then I think you should run Mask Chameleon, just because you have the ability to go Black Rose and you have the ability to go Ancient Fairy Dragon. Double Torii Guide. This is like one of the best cards in Ghostricks. I don't see why you wouldn't play this in Ghostricks, just because, like, again, Torriguide, make Alucard pops set cards on the field. That's just really good. Their field spell. Let me read you the field spell. Well, what the heck's happening, man? I'm outside. I'm super cold. What the field spell does is monsters cannot attack face down defense position monsters, but can attack if all monsters their opponent controls are face down. Attack directly. Oops. In defense position. All effect damage and any battle damage, inflicted by monsters other than Ghostrick monsters is halved. So, yeah, it's okay. It's not too bad. Like, since it revolves around attacking directly, what you want to combo this off with is either Swords of Concealing Light or Ghostrick Scare, which used to be Ghostrick Panic. I don't know why they would. I like Panic better. It sounds cooler. Nobleman Crossout is a really good card to run in Ghostricks. Again, you have a Book of Moon in the deck and an actual Book of Moon in the deck. If you don't know what Nobleman Crossout does, you pretty much target a face-down monster on the field. You destroy that target, and if you do, you banish it instead of sending it into the graveyard. This is really good because, believe it or not, a lot of decks do set cards, and people forget that. Like, you play against Mermails, you hit a Lindy, they banish it. Then if it was a flip effect monster, both players reveal their decks and banish them all. So, for whatever reason you're playing against a random Lightsworn, you put Nobleman, if you made a Nobleman Crossout, you hit a Raikou, you'll banish all the Raikous from their deck, which is actually pretty convenient. Like, it's really convenient with Ghostrick Scare, because Ghostrick Scare puts your opponent's monsters in face-down defense position up to the number of Ghostrick monsters you had set in defense position. So, again, it's more Book of Moons. So, since this deck kind of stalls with the Lantern and it searches out with the Ghostrick Langishi, a lot of times you'll have multiple monsters on the field mid-game. Notice how I said mid-game, not early game. And then you flip Ghostrick Scare. Ghostrick Scare puts all their monsters in defense position, and then they can't really change their battle positions unless, like, if they attacked or whatever. So it helps a lot. And then you combo it off with popping open Nobleman Crossout, or you're just able to flip them all next turn, search out with Langishi, summon a Ghoul. Ghoul pump everybody. Everybody gets pumped up with Ghoul's effect. You pump one monster up with Ghoul's effect, you attack directly for all the damage. It's actually not that bad. I just peep duality because of the consistency issues. And then Swords of Concealing Light. If you don't know what Swords of Concealing Light does, when this card resolves, all monsters your opponent controlled when this card activated are changed to face down defense position. Monsters your opponent controls cannot change their battle position and destroy this card during the second standby phase after its activation. So, if your opponent has their monster board set up already, you activate this card and they stay face down, and then you're able to attack directly if you have your field spell on the field. That's the problem with this deck. It's very, very, very reliant on the field spell, and its like theme currently, I guess I could see, is mainly trying to attack directly, which is a really big problem because this deck is, I've noticed after testing it out, just my friend wanted me to make him a Ghostrick deck, this deck gets wrecked by Mirror Force or Deep Prison and stuff like that, which is kind of bad, especially since you're really reliant on your monsters and you don't really have protection. And like, I understand, yeah, you shouldn't overextend and run into Mirror Force, but you're playing a deck that, like, it's constantly flipping its monsters face up and face back down to get its effect off. So it's kind of hard to play around a Mirror Force, especially if all your monsters are virtually weak in general. Let's talk about the Alucard. So Alucard, your opponent cannot target other Ghostrick monsters or any face-down defense position monsters for attacks. You can detach one Xyz material from this card, then target one set card your opponent controls, destroy that target. You can only use the effect of Ghostrick Alucard once per turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one other Ghostrick card in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. So it has like a Gear Gig and X effect where you add it back to your hand if it's destroyed. I like Ghostrick Alucard mainly because he looks like the Joker, and Alucard is Dracula spelled backwards. I don't know if you knew that, but I just gave that away. So it's 2 level 3 monsters, which is really convenient because you don't need Ghostrick monsters. You can go double Torguide, you can go Crane into something else. If you tech in any type of level 3 monsters, you can just Xyz with it and then pop a set card on the field. If anything, like, this card isn't that bad in general to run in a deck that can make level 3s. Like, I'd probably play him over Leviathan Dragon in this format just because popping set cards, well, maybe not this format, but hopefully next format, popping set cards seems like a good idea. So that's Ghostricks. I don't think it's a good deck to play right now competitively. I honestly don't see it topping any type of regional or YCS until the next format. Hopefully the decks like this, decks like Shinra and decks like Gravekeeper's Lightsworns become more playable and the format slows down to the point where this actually sees play and this actually can compete in a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh scene, just because, like, it's so slow, not super slow, but it's relatively slow, and I want to see decks like these be played because this is when a format becomes clutch and clutch. So thanks for watching, like, comment, subscribe, I'll see you later, YouTube.